visit to Great Britain continues this week at the center of London's motion picture industry, Pinewood Studios. Good evening and welcome to Red's Classic Theater. And we'll take you on a tour of this giant studio complex throughout our program. We'll also have an interview with the managing director, Mr. Cyril Howard. Our movie this week is the 1978 $40 million production, Superman the Movie, starring Christopher Reeve. Most of the movie was shot right here at Pinewood. Casting the part of the Man of Steel involved choosing from over 200 actors, including Paul Newman, Robert Redford, Charles Bronson, Clint Eastwood, Steve McQueen, and yes, even Sylvester Stallone. And the role of Lois Lane was also hotly contested, with Canadian actress Margot Kidder narrowly winning out over Leslie Ann Warren. More on the movie later. Right now, Act 1 of Superman the Movie. We're visiting the world-renowned Pinewood Studios in the English countryside just outside of London. Here in the back lot, and behind me is a giant tank, and behind that, a backdrop which is painted with clouds. Now, the combination of the two could make for an ocean scene. And another part of the lot, a giant wave-making machine that's used for washing water, for instance, over the deck of a ship. Superman the Movie is but one of over 600 movies and television productions made here at Pinewood over the past 56 years. Pinewood is composed of 18 sound stages of varying sizes set on a 50-acre site. The largest of the stages, in fact, the largest sound stage in the world, is Pinewood's Albert R. Broccoli 007 stage, named for the producer of the famous spy movie series, and has been home to 14 James Bond feature films. Here's the way the Pinewood lot appeared in 1988 when the blockbuster movie Batman was in production. And it's easy to see why the studio was chosen. Only on the massive backlot afforded by Pinewood Studios could such a huge project be constructed. We'll be back with more in a moment. Another interesting feature here at Pinewood Studios is their picture gallery, which shows still photos from many of their famous movies. One of which Pinewood is particularly proud is this shot from The Prince and the Showgirl, a movie seen earlier this year on Red's Classic Theater. The picture starred Laurence Olivier and Marilyn Monroe and was the only film the blonde bombshell ever made outside the United States. And now Superman the Movie continues. Hope you're enjoying the 1978 production of Superman as we visit London's Pinewood Studios. I'm standing here in part of the garden of the 14 acres of garden behind the administration building here at Pinewood. Here's a little background on the making of the motion picture Superman. The first order of business for actor Christopher Reeve when he was hired to play the role was a bodybuilding course, and he trained in London at the Grosvenor House Gym under the guidance of David Prowse, better known as arch-villain Darth Vader in the Star Wars pictures. 3 separate actors were approached about playing Perry White, editor of the Daily Planet. First, Eddie Albert and Jack Klugman turned the movie down, and then Keenan Wynn accepted the part but fell ill and had to withdraw. Finally, Jackie Cooper took over and played the cranky newspaper man to perfection. Many felt that the making of Superman was a high risk, and it certainly was. But Warner Brothers was rewarded with getting double what they put out in investment at the box office. And also, it won an Academy Award for special effects. And now let's return to Gene Hackman and Christopher Reeve in Superman the Movie. Instead of a regular mailbag feature, which falls in this part of the program, we thought we'd share with you a wonderful interview we had with the managing director of Pinewood Studios earlier today, Mr. Cyril Howard. Here's what he had to say about the making of Superman here at Pinewood.
I've got nothing but good to say about Superman 1, 2, 3, and indeed Supergirl. But the trials and tribulations, when, if you like, they've been here with me a couple of weeks, my accountant comes in and a little bit differently said, of course you know that they owe us $500,000. And I think, God Almighty, how am I supposed to know this? And that was the trend. I mean, Superman 1 wasn't the best film, it wasn't the most prolific, and we were all like this. But Superman 2, it's going to be all right. And I thought, oh God, no, I'm losing my job, I'm out and finished. But Superman 2 was made, and my deficit was huge. And all of a sudden, it just rang the bell. Everybody got paid, and we all arms and arms. That's what, you know, yeah.
We'll have more of our interview with Mr. Howard a little later on. But right now, let's get back to our movie, Superman. Hope you're enjoying our movie, Superman. Earlier in the program, we had an interview with the managing director, Mr. Cyril Howard. We rejoin him now, and he makes some interesting comments about his most memorable moments here at Pinewood.
But I suppose our purple patch was between, say, 76 and 86, when not only did we have Bond films, but we had Superman 1, 2, 3. Our studio, our competitor, not too far away, had the Indiana Jones series, the Star Wars trilogy. I mean, we were famous. I mean, it would put the money away every night. It hasn't always been like that. I mean, the history of the British film industry is one of up and down and up and down and up and down. At the moment we're down, you see, but tomorrow we'll be up.
And our thanks to Mr. Howard for taking time with us. And now let's get back to our movie, Superman. Hope you're enjoying Superman the movie on Red's Classic Theater. What you're looking at right now is a sound dubbing studio, just one of many here at Pinewood Studios, just outside of London. Our motion picture tonight was produced by Warner Brothers, who over the years had many achievements in the film industry. One of the greatest feats was the introduction of sound on film in the 1927 movie The Jazz Singer, starring Al Jolson. The company won its first Best Picture Academy Award in 1937 for The Life of Emile Zola, starring Paul Muni. Warner's second Best Picture Oscar arrived 6 years later, following the release of Casablanca, featuring Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. Warner's can also take some credit for developing some of the most vibrant screen stars in film history, including Edward G. Robinson, James Cagney, Errol Flynn, Joan Crawford, Doris Day, Burt Lancaster, John Wayne, James Dean, and Warren Beatty, to name but a few. And now Superman the movie continues. Here on the backlot of Pinewood Studios, it's time for our movie trivia quiz. Well, believe it or not, Superman actually kissed a man on screen. Can you name the actors involved and the name of the motion picture? We'll be back with the answer in just a moment. Here's the answer to our movie trivia quiz. Actually, it wasn't Superman who kissed another man on screen. It was actor Christopher Reeve. The other actor was Michael Caine. The motion picture was Death Trap. And according to both actors, they spent half a day working their way up to do the scene by drinking a half a bottle of brandy. And now let's get back to our movie, Superman.
Travel arrangements for Red's Classic Theater provided by the British Tourist Authority. Accommodations in London provided by the Burnham Beeches Moat House. Ground transportation in Great Britain provided by Kenning Car Hire.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's edition of Red's Classic Theater from Pinewood Studios, just outside of London. Hope you enjoyed our motion picture, Superman the movie, with Christopher Reeve. Before I tell you what's coming up for next week, some thanks are in order. Thanks to Karen Squires of the British Tourist Authority, to Jim McKeechee of British Airways in Vancouver, and for the hospitality at the Burnham Beeches Moat Hotel. Isn't that a mouthful? We had a great time there. Next week, our motion picture, the third in our series from Britain, is That Hamilton Woman, about the relationship with Lord Nelson and Lady Hamilton, starring Laurence Olivier and Vivian Leigh. In the meantime, if there's a motion picture you'd like to see or the suggestion of a location, write to Red Robinson KVOS TV in Vancouver. And our special thanks to Pinewood Studios, Bill Harrison, and of course Cyril Howard for their hospitality here on the lot at Pinewood Studios. Join us next Sunday night at 9 o'clock for That Hamilton Woman. And by the way, we will be in Portsmouth in England. Thank you for joining us. See you next week. Good night, everybody.